Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Call of War, an MMO RTS, or technically speaking, a MMOG RTS for Grand Strategy game. It's a free-to-play game, and the developers behind the game contacted me a couple weeks ago and asked if I was interested in doing a couple of videos for them because they thought this game would basically be right up my alley. Now, initially, I'll be honest, I was a little bit scared. The game seemed really complicated. Luckily, the tutorial level, which is what you're seeing here in the background, does help you along quite well. Now, initially, I started a new game. I was without internet for a day, and I come back and my neighbor Romania, played by another human, had invaded my country and taken over Kiev and, well, basically the Ukrainian capital, and had pushed quite far into my lands. Now, I wasn't really too happy about that, as you could understand, so I pushed back hard. So I showed him what I would do to a backstabber. Now, with that being said, check this out. If you're interested in joining me in a 100-player battle, and hopefully you guys don't target me specifically, but a 100-player battle, I will put the link in the description. For the first 30 days, you will also get 1 month of their premium time called High Command and 13,000 gold for free, as long as you sign up with the link in the description. It's only valid for 30 days, but that should give you enough time to join the 100-player game I'll be hosting. And if it's anything like this smaller tutorial level, which is about 22 players, the 100-player one is just going to blow my mind, most likely. So Call of War is free to play and is both available on Steam or also just on their own website, the official Call of War website. It's also available on your mobile phone, iOS, Android. I've been messing around with it a little bit. Personally, I just prefer using the PC because I can give a little bit more accurate orders, but it's definitely interesting to wake up at 4 a.m., check your phone and be like, okay, my country is safe. I have not been attacked yet, because people tend to attack at night when you're asleep. I realized that he actually had attacked me on the morning of. It like literally charged into my country at like 4 a.m., which is a little bit cheeky, and you can do it to other people as well, so keep that in mind. So the way the game works is you pick a lobby. You can pick from a large variety of either historical maps, like here you see Europe and a part of North America and North Africa, or you can pick ahistorical maps. I read something about an Antarctica map. Kind of gives me those 1946 what if Germany, esque scenario vibes. And then you pick your country on the map, and you basically have to then guide your country to a very hard-fought victory or a probably hard-fought defeat. So you pick your country, you can try and ally with players, you can try and backstab them. I have been backstabbed once or twice so far. I'm sure that my soldiers hate me as a leader. Initially, you only start off with a few units, and some of those are infantry. The infantry moves very slow. It's a real-time strategy game, so what means is that it takes them an hour to move somewhere in the game. It's going to take them an hour in real life to move there. Now, the tutorial level, I believe, takes place at twice the speed, but the full game should only take place where 1 hour in real life is 1 hour in the game. So moving your infantry like I was doing from east to west, back to east, back to west, they probably got really tired and pretty pissed off with me. Now, your infantry is slow. You can upgrade them and get motorized infantry, get mechanized infantry. You have a bunch of different tanks. You have aircraft, you have ships, you have secret weapons like nuclear missiles, you have nuclear submarines. You need to move these strategically, because if you don't, you are going to be caught out by a smarter enemy who's actually been planning their troop movement. The research menu, which I just touched on, was a little bit overwhelming at first. There's a lot of options, but luckily the game sort of says, hey, don't do crazy things, start off with small things. So initially I upgraded my infantry. You go from infantry level 1 to infantry level 2, which upgrades their offensive capabilities, their defensive capabilities, might increase their speed a little bit here and there. But the cool thing is, let's say you have 5 infantry level 1 on the map, you then get them all upgraded to the level you're upgrading them to, so they become level 2, level 3, etc. This is a good way to keep your units competitive with those of other nations, but maybe you are trying to research, a decent tank. But by the time you're done with that, your enemies around you could have just researched infantry, cheap infantry, and be way further ahead of you by the time that you have a tank research. So you want to make sure that your research is pretty rounded out. I know the paratroopers and the commandos look really cool, but you want to get some infantry, some light vehicles research before you start getting into the secret weapons. There's a secret weapons tab that includes nukes, rockets. It's pretty crazy. My favorite thing so far, honestly, must be the diplomacy tab and all the scheming that comes with it. So initially, obviously, I was backstabbed by Romania, my friendly neighbor who then just randomly ran into my country and took over my capital. I pushed Romania back to our original border of the Ukrainian-Romanian border, and I was like, you know what? Time for some payback, and we pushed our men into Romania to take his lands because that's what he tried to do to me. I was about halfway there, and then I started messaging the Italian player who's on the other side to the west of Romania, and I said, hey, do you want to make an alliance where you take this part of the country, I'll take this part, and then we'll crush him between us? And the Italian player seemed really, really excited about that idea, and I can only imagine when you're playing this not with 22 players in a tutorial level, but with 100 players in that upcoming game. I can just imagine the insane scheming that's going to go on, the coalitions that are going to be formed. I'm going to be looking out for some of you guys to backstab me there. One thing I haven't really messed with myself, there is the ability to buy or hire spies, and these spies can give you economic interests, they can give you military interests, you can use them to sabotage enemy provinces, and they also allow you to basically play through the fog of war, because the fog of war, as in many other games, is there to prevent you from seeing what the enemy has deeper inside their territory. The only way to find out what they have is either using a spy or using aircraft to fly over the area, hopefully not get shot down by their aircraft, and then kind of figure out what sort of composition they have army-wise in their territory, and then you can respond accordingly. If you see 5 anti-tank guns but no infantry, don't be sending in tanks because they're not going to fare well. Do you see 5 infantry in an open field without any anti-tank? Guess what? That's where you send the tanks. Resources. There is quite a few different resources available in the game. We have food, goods, manpower, metal, oil, rare materials, and money. Now, some of those speak for themselves. Basically, without food, you can build units. Without metal, you can build certain vehicles. Without manpower, it's the same thing. There's no men to make into soldiers. How are you going to make an army? Rare materials are used for research. I think it's to pay off the scientists and not do any crazy stuff. And obviously goods and oil speak for themselves. They are used for vehicles or to create buildings. Now, if you're running low on resources, you can either go to the market, which is, I believe, player driven. You can sell or buy other people's goods that they don't want anymore, or you can use the gold currency. By the way, like I said, sign up with the link in the description and you get 13,000 gold for free. You can use gold to also buy materials. Besides buying resources, you can use gold to speed up research. You can use gold to boost morale of territories that you have captured, or to make spy missions go a little bit faster. I'm assuming people are a little bit more excited when you hand them a couple of ounces of gold. Now, the High Command, the premium account, again, you get as well for a month when you sign up with the link in the description. It allows for certain convenience features, such as setting up rally points for your units, and also advanced unit and building controls. I just wanted to quickly report on the latest developments. We have now basically fully captured every Romanian territory. A few are left over here. However, between my to-be ally Italy and myself, we discussed that he would gain these territories for his hard fight against the Yugoslavians and the Romanians, and for his help, basically helping me defeat the Romanians. And I'm about to capture Sofia, which originally was a Bulgarian territory, but was captured by the backstabbing Romanian player. We are about to capture it. And with that being done, that concludes all of my territories. After the Italian player captures Debrecen, Sighet, Timisoara, and Data, and the war has been completed with Romania being eliminated. He mentioned he would give me back Vraca or Vracha, my apologies for the mispronunciation, and that way we have basically completed our conquest. Now we can look south towards Greece, we can look southeast towards Turkey, we can look east towards the Caucasus, or we can look north and northwest towards Poland and Germany. And there she goes. We got Sofia, and that pretty much concludes our part of the war. So let's go tell the Italian player, and well, hopefully Romania has been defeated. So initially, when I started my very first game here as Ukraine, which was more or less randomly assigned to me by the game, I was without a internet connection for a day. And what happened, other players around me obviously started playing, and the cool thing is here in the World Herald, which is basically sort of a newspaper, it keeps track of everything that happens during that particular day, you know, battles, wars that are declared. You can even send in your own news articles with little pictures, which kind of leads to a player-driven story, depending on, well, how other players are responding to those articles. You can definitely start some wars if you use the wrong words. But you can see here that Romania on day 3, which was realistically day 1.5 because the time goes twice as fast in the tutorial level, you can see that they pushed into my territory and started making more of my country theirs. I then pushed back, I came back, I got internet, I pushed back, and between Italy and I, you can see that their territory shrunk very fast with a huge amount of land grabbing over there. Basically went on, we split up Greece, and we've basically caught up. We're on day 10 right now. We've caught up, as you can see, the Italian Empire over here, my Ukrainian Empire over here, and our friend who is playing as Algeria, who became our friend. As you can see now, our territory is basically encompassing about 1/3 of the entire world map, with Algeria over here taking over large parts of Spain, Italy holding the Czech Republic, Slovakia holding Yugoslavia, holding parts of Hungary, and obviously as you can see here, me as Ukraine holding Romania, the treacherous backstabber, parts of Greece. We're currently also working on taking down the last bastion, the final bastion of Greek defense here on Nicosia. The Italian player sending out a little invasion force. I have captured Rhodes, Athens, and basically right now we are looking north. We're looking north towards Poland. Poland's almost already fully captured. And now, interestingly enough, another player up here, 2 players actually, Sweden and Finland, or I should say Sweden and Finland, they have been moving south, and they've actually captured the Baltic states, some parts of the Soviet Union, and as you can see right here, Swedish and Ukrainian forces are about to be face to face here in Vilnius. Very interesting. We're actually about to move in here. In about 4 minutes, we'll be attacking Vilnius. There isn't really much left to defend. It's just a single militia unit. We have a medium tank, 2 light tanks, and a motorized infantry unit going in there. So we're definitely going to mess them up, and we're going to make a new border that basically goes from Swedish territory to Ukrainian territory, which is it's kind of crazy. Italy is pushing north through Poland, and we're basically cutting the map in a rough half with our coalition between us 3. What I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be showing you guys how you can join my game, which is a 100-player game, way bigger than this 22-player game, and I'll hopefully be doing some reporting on how our game is going to be going. So all you have to do to join my game, or better said, our game, comrade, is to go to the website, click on New Games after creating your account, and search for Play with the Sherm. You click enter, or you click the little search thing, and then my game appears. You click play, and you fill in the password, the Shermanator 17. Now, it's got some capitals in it. I will have it here on the screen really big. Also in the description below the video, so you cannot miss it. First 100 players get access to the game. Keep in mind, I did sort of skip over the country selection, but I'll show you that in another game real quick. I've just selected a 100-player World at War round. Granted, there was already close to 90 players in the game, but you'll present it with this screen, and you can choose a country that's already been picked by somebody else. So let's say we want to go into the Russian territory in this game. You click on Russia, you click next, and it'll give you the provinces or countries that are still applicable. All you have to do then is pick one and click OK, and you'll be brought to the battle screen, and well, hopefully none of you will backstab me, but since I'm playing as Poland, I've kind of put myself in that position, historically speaking anyway. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to check the link in the description for all those sign-up bonuses, and don't forget that it's only a 100-player server, so first come, first serve. Hope to see you guys there. Cheers.